for Hawks Wrestling on KMCH. This is West Delaware Wrestling from KMCH Sports. Hawks Wrestling brought to you by the KMCH Sports Boosters. Now, let's go Matt side. Along with Roger Reed, here's Jamie Vatsky.
West Delaware Wrestling is on the air, and a Happy New Year, everybody, as the West Delaware Hawks will kick it off year 2014 with the single dual action here against the Decorah Vikings. Good evening, everybody, along with Roger Reed. I am Jamie Vatsky, and Roger, a Happy New Year to you. You know, when the season starts, we think by the time that 4 or 5 months go along in a wrestling season, it should take forever, but we're technically halfway through the season. There's only a couple months left, and it's going to get heated up here in just a few weeks, and we're excited as we get the Decorah Vikings in town tonight. But not only that, it is alumni night here in West Delaware, the old gymnasium, the upper gymnasium here tonight, and a lot of alumni showed up for that. Good to see a lot of people back for this dual meet here tonight.
Well, you're exactly right, Jamie. This is where wrestling at West Delaware is wrestling. We're up in the hot box. We're up in the old gym. We're up here in the Crow's Nest where we got a great view. We got the mat lap down. We got a great crowd of the orange and black faithful to our right side. Decorah brought, considering the weather conditions outside, Decorah brought a nice crowd down to see this duel. And the Decorah Vikings and the West Delaware Hawks, this has turned into a very good rivalry. Of course, on the football field, the Vikings have got the Hawks the past couple times they've met. But Jamie, on the wrestling mat, it's been a little different story. The Hawks have dominated this series since its inception. And tonight there's going to be some great matchups. We're going to see some outstanding matchups. The Hawks have met Decorah in a tournament at the Bob Murphy Invite where the Hawks finished ahead of the Vikings. But this is a dual meet. It's a little bit different story, and it's going to be mano out here on the mat, and anything can happen.
Yeah, absolutely. As we are about ready to go, about 3 minutes away from starting action here tonight, and as you mentioned, the alumni night, they lined them up by class. I wasn't in here to see what the earliest class member was.
1969, I think.
Well, that might have been his graduating class, but I think Bob Ung's here. I believe he was on one of the first teams here at West Delaware back in the day. I believe he was on one of those inaugural seasons. I know he was here when they did the 50-year reunion back in, I believe that was 2000? I'm not sure. Is when they did the, or 2010 when they did the 2000. 2005.
1954.
2005.
2005, okay.
So I remember him being around for that. So good to see all these people out here tonight, and the gym is packed, and that's what you got to love about the this old gym here, Roger, is when there's a lot of people here, not only does the action heat up, the gym heats up as well, as we will have some updates tonight. We got one update from Bill Logan. He's down in the new gym here, down in the lower half of over at the Bill Seedorf Gymnasium there. I got an update from him earlier. The West Delaware freshman boys won 72-51 in that game, and we will have updates from that varsity game tonight as well, as we'll get your lineups for you here in just a little bit. We're going to have a national anthem, and I'll tell you what, not only was it wrestling alumni, there was cheerleaders, statisticians. It's good to see a lot of people back. And
hey Jay, it's about the wrestling family. You know, whatever job that you do, part of this wrestling program, you become part of the Hawk family. And we had cheerleaders, statisticians, managers, filmers. You know, whoever has a job as part of this program will recognize tonight as part of the West Delaware alumni family. I'll tell you what, Jamie, that's it's a great. You don't see this done very often. And it's just a great opportunity to recognize some alumni that have paid the price, that have went through 3-4 seasons, have spent time out on the mat, have developed close relationships, you know, and nights like tonight are for remembering those, and you get a chance to recognize. You know, I started this broadcasting in 2003, so it was good to see some of those. It was good to see some of those guys that as 11 years ago when I started this, you know, to see Brian Klaus and to see some of those kids that I remember calling for the first time, to see them back tonight and their memories, I could remember their memories and calling those matches, and you know, that's great. And again, sports is about creating memories. and listen to each one of these athletes, cheerleaders, statisticians talk about their memories. That's special, and that's what athletics are all about. Yes, you want to compete. Yes, you want to win, but it's about developing relationships. It's about developing family atmosphere, and it's just a great opportunity to recognize those people that have been part of the West Delaware family of wrestling, and it really is a family.
Absolutely. As we mentioned, Bob Ung's 1957 graduate of West Delaware was, I believe, the oldest one here. There was some. Jerry Petlin was there in 66. He was here tonight. Dan Doyle from the class of 65. Delana Schulte was here. She was a cheerleader from 1972. A couple other ones. Steve Duncan from 1972. He wrestled for the Hawks. Mike Beatty, a wrestler in 1975.
And his wife was a cheerleader.
She was a cheerleader, also a great 1975 graduate of West Delaware. We got a lot of them here. We'll try to get through some of these here tonight for you. Just kind of mention some of the alums that were here tonight. Try to get through them. I just got a stack of papers up here, Roger. We'll try to, of everybody who filled out a sheet here tonight. So we'll try to get them through you here for you tonight. They're going to do the lineups here right now, and then they will sing the national anthem and get back. We do have an update. The West Delaware sophomore boys also winning tonight 72-39. So we'll get updates from that varsity game once it gets going. And, of course, they're playing Independence tonight. So we'll get you back, get you some updates from that. We're going to take a short break and come back. You're listening to West Delaware Wrestling and KMCH Sports. And as we bring you back here tonight, we'll let you know some more graduates of West Delaware. Elwin Curtis, a wrestler from the class of 75. Kevin Harbaugh, a wrestler from the class of 1977. Chris Lenz, a wrestler from the class of 1978. He wrestled 98 through 105 pounds in his high school career. Dan Lahr, a graduate of 1978. He wrestled for the Hawks. Darrell Putz, a 1980 wrestler for the Hawks. Jackie Lahr, a cheerleader for West Delaware, graduate of 1980. Carol McMahon-Rave, she was a cheerleader and graduated in 1981. Mike Cole, also a graduate of 1981. And Annette Lenz, a cheerleader for the Hawks, graduated 1982. As we're into action already, and Brent Lammers out quickly, and he's going to get the fall. 49 seconds fall for Brent Lammers, as Brent Lammers was taking on.
That was Josh Graves. Josh Graves, he was a junior. Lammers had 3 nice single leg takedowns, Jamie, to start the meet. Looks like he had a good week of practice during break, and he made those first 3 takedowns look very easy. And he picked up the fall with a nice butcher, turned Graves to his back in 49 seconds. So he got the mat slapped, and we're moving right up to 182 with Corey Russell.
And I know the Hawks needed that week of good practice, as I think Coach Voss was happy with the way practice went this past week in Christmas vacation, because the way the Hawks wrestled that Saturday at the Battle of Waterloo, I don't think any of the wrestlers or the coaches were satisfied with what happened that day. And so far tonight, the Hawks are looking a lot better than that, as Coy Russell out with a quick takedown, as Russell
Kyle Hageman
taking on Kyle Hageman for Decorah. Again, the Decorah Vikings head coach Jeff Friedhoff. Not sure how many years he's been there. He's been there quite a few now for the Vikings. Coach Jeff Voss for West Delaware.
There's a very nice, there's a fall. Wow, I'll tell you what, that was a quick fall there, 31 seconds, Jamie.
Mr. Meineke calling the quick pins tonight as he's in here tonight for our officiating crew. We've got Rick Helmrichs in there as well. We had, for the JV, we had a West Delaware alum, Pat Loughran, refereeing the JV matches tonight. I believe that's Chris Meineke. Is that his first name?
I think so.
I think it's Chris Meineke.
I think it is.
Officiating tonight with Rick Helmrich. So get these guys out here. Scotty Taylor's going to take the mat for the Hawks at 195. The Hawks lead at 12-0 after falls from Brent Lammers and Coy Russell as we move up to 195 pounds.
This is Sean Truan for the Decorah Vikings, and Truan is a junior. And Jamie, one of the things we talked about Scotty Taylor is developing some offense on his feet, and hopefully he spent Christmas break here working on some things from his feet. So, he's a good mat wrestler. He's got a good counter, and he's got to develop some action on his feet, and he's going to be okay. weight class 195, started at weight class 170. Brett Lammers made short work of Josh Graves, and then Corey Russell made real short work of Kyle Hageman. The Hawks have yet to spend 2 minutes on the mat. 2 first period falls for the West Delaware Hawks. And Jamie, it's just something about this atmosphere, being here under the mat lamp, and I'll tell you what, there's nothing like it. There's a nice counter by Taylor, and he's going to pick up 2 over Truan. Truan came with a high crotch, head to the outside, and a nice down block, a nice sprawl by Taylor with the cross face of the far arm, and he picked up the 2 on the defensive takedown, so he'll take it anywhere he can get it. And he's got a nice cradle. We'll see if he can set that cradle up. There's a nice sit-out turn-in by Truan, and he's got the left leg of Scott Taylor wrapped up, and Taylor goes right back to that down block, that sprawl, and he's going to have to shove Truan loose. Now Truan picks up the left leg of Taylor, and he's got Taylor in a single leg, and he's going to dump him down, and he's going to pick up a 2-point reversal. Truan with the 2-point reversal on Taylor, so we're going back to action. 49.6 seconds left to go first period, and Scotty Taylor is tied up with deuces, 2-2. Takedown by Taylor, reversal by Truan.
You know, Roger, we've covered a lot of matches from this Crow's Nest, you and I, and you would think by now with the mat lamp up, I'd have brought our lamp tonight.
There's a snap back by Truan as a short sit out by Taylor. Truan went under the left arm around the chin of Taylor, snapped him back, and then got his chest up on top of Taylor and recorded the fall. That's a first period fall there, Jamie, by Truan. So Taylor will lose by fall in the first period. So that'll close the gap here to 12-6, and we're going to weight class 220, where Will Wenger will take on Carter Zedlicki. He's a junior, and Will Wenger is a senior. So it's pin or be pinned so far tonight, and the Hawks have some work to do.
Yeah, they do, and you know that's a match you don't like to see going the other way, because you talked about Scott Taylor. He was in some close matches at the Battle of Waterloo, and I believe he went like 4-2 or something like that, 5-1, or I believe it was 4-2. But I tell you what, he was in a lot of close matches, and those 2 that he lost, he was right there. And that's where you said you'd like to see a little more offense from him there. Came out, got the first takedown, but kind of got caught in that move trying to go to a short sit out and gave up the fall.
Yeah, and we have Will Wenger now taking on Carter Zedlicki. He's a junior, and that was a high crotch shot again by Zedlicki. A nice counter by Will Wenger. Again, the Decorah Vikings are getting in on that high crotch shot, but they're not finishing it, and that's letting the West Delaware Hawks do a nice job countering, and Wenger up on top now, applying a lot of pressure forward to Zedlicki. He's got an inside wrist on the right, tying up Zedlicki, looking for a 2-point turn if he can get it, a 2-point tilt. And Zedlicki up to his base right now. Will Wenger chops and drives Zedlicki back over the base, and we're going to go off the edge of the mat. Wenger hustles back. So
I thought about it, at least. I thought about bringing my lamp, but
that is a bright light, that light in your phone. I almost need to wear my sunglasses with that baby. All right, back to action we go.
Wenger works on top here. Go through a couple more of the alumni that were here tonight. All these were here tonight, so a good turnout. I mean, this stack of papers.
I didn't count them, but it was.
We'll do.
We've got a whole bunch of chairs set out. I suppose there were over 60, Jamie.
As Will Wenger.
Probably more than that. Wenger doing a nice job now on top. Hard crossface from left to right. He shoved that right elbow of Zedlicki. Went to that crossface, was trying to set up a cradle. 10 seconds left to go. And Zedlicki straightened that right leg out so Wenger couldn't lock the cradle up, and he's working that crossface again real hard. And again, that's what the whole idea is. Keep your weight forward, keep your weight on his hands, make your opponent carry your weight. And Wenger did a nice job there.
He certainly did. A few more alumni here tonight. Dave Smith, a wrestler from the class of 1984. Kurt Fidelke, a wrestler from the class of 1985. 1985 graduate Troy Tutton was here tonight. A 1986 graduate, Greg Lammers, he wrestled for the Hawks, graduated in 1986.
There's a nice counter by Wenger as Zidlicki shot a double leg in on Wenger, and he tried to take Wenger down, and Wenger wrapped around his stomach and threw Zidlicki, and came out on top, picked up the 2 and a 2-point near fall. That got the crowd to their feet. So Wenger doing a nice job with his counters, and again, that's where Will Wenger is at his best. He gets in those scramble situations, and he's like a cat with 9 lives. He has a tendency to come out on top of those. And sometimes he lets the opponent in just a little bit too deep before he creates a scramble. Zidlicki was in deep on that shot, but Wenger did a nice job coming out of the scramble. Wenger gets too high riding, and Zidlicki, short set, faces Wenger, and gets picked up a point, so we're going back to neutral. 6-1 now. Zidlicki's got a quick shot, and he's very tall compared to Wenger. He's in on that double again. And Wenger tries a double underhook and tries to launch Zidlicki. Zidlicki ties up that double again and sets Wenger on his backside, picks up 2. That would be the first takedown by Decorah. And we're going to get a warning against Zidlicki for not returning Wenger to the mat. Now there's locked hands on Zidlicki. Official missed it. But anyway, he brings Wenger back down to the mat at 6-3 with 34 seconds left to go. Now Zidlicki trying to set up a cradle on Wenger. Wenger goes to hand control, throws that hand over his head. Nice stand-up, turn in, splits the hands, picks up 1 for the escape, 2 for the takedown. Nice job by Will Wenger. Scores 9-3 now. That's good action, Jamie. That's good action by the senior from West Delaware. You know, not letting Zidlicki get his weight entirely on top of him and doing a great job with hand control, taking that arm over his head and then coming with that inside stand-up and then facing Zidlicki and then snapping him down and picking up the 2-point takedown. So a great way to end that second period.
And it was. You know, Will got himself in trouble there and gave up that takedown, but I tell you what, he did a great job of coming right back and getting back up and taking this lead here.
So we're going to go to the third period, and it's 9-3. We're going back to neutral. Will Wenger's got to develop a shot here. Zidlicki back in on that double, and Wenger tries that underhook. He's got a double underhook, and he's got to climb on top of Zidlicki, and Zidlicki gets his hips up and picks up the 2-point takedown. So, Jamie, that's one of those things that your guy shoots a double in, and one of the worst things you can do is underhook and try to pancake him back over. You're going to do that to some. You're going to do that to some kids that are not very good, but Zidlicki's a pretty good wrestler. You got to stuff the head and crossface.
He is, and you can't go easy on here. You got to go back to the basics and go and get on your offense, because Zidlicki's just taking it to Wenger right now. He's got a 10-7 lead now, but he's got to get moving here.
And the Decorah bench is up on their feet, telling Carter Zidlicki to cut Wenger loose after those easy takedowns. Now Zidlicki comes with a hard crossface, trying to set up a butcher. It's 10-7 in favor of Will Wenger. Hard crossface by Zidlicki from the right to the left, and Will Wenger now belly down. If Zidlicki gets out to the front, he's got that butcher set up, and he's circling the head of Wenger. This thing could get tied up very quickly here as Wenger is on his back right now. Carter Zidlicki trying to tee out. Wenger bellies back down. Let's see if he gets 2 out of it. It's 10-9. Nice, sets up that butcher again. Will Wenger's got to get his base up. Zidlicki with that hard crossface. And the core coaching staff is telling Carter Zidlicki to cut Wenger loose. And Zidlicki's going right back to work on that butcher.
Will's got to get up here. He's just laying flat. And
Wenger is belly down. Here comes the butcher again by Zidlicki as he's circling the head of Wenger. He's picking up some back points. Wenger's trying to roll through, but I'm telling you what, Carter Zidlicki is going to win this match, and he could win it by a fall, as Wenger's still trying to roll off his back. 2-point near fall again, or 3-point near fall. 3-point. Now it's 12-10. So quite a period by the junior from Decorah, as he's going to snatch a 12-10 victory. He's going to snatch a 12-10 victory away from Will Wenger, and that's going to close the gap to 12-9. So, Jamie, after that quick start by Lammers and Russell, the Hawks have found the going just a little bit tough here at 195 and 220.
Yeah, they have, and it's just it's the last couple matches. It was a matter of the Hawks just right there. Wanger kind of let up in that third period. I think he, they say blew a lung perhaps in that match there. But I tell you what, he wasn't able to get the job done, loses 12-10. I believe this is Colin Weber up at heavyweight for the Hawks. And
I believe you are right. Richie Hebron not in the lineup tonight, so we got Colin Weber taking on, he's a sophomore, taking on Austin Aschbacher. And Aschbacher is a senior for Decorah, and he's a pretty tough cat down here. So Colin Weber will have his work cut out for him. And again, the Decorah Vikings strong in the upper weights, traditionally strong in the upper weights. There's a great sweep single by Aschbacher, and he takes Weber down. So again, after that quick start, the Hawks have found the going just a little bit tough here. So they've got to do something to get the crowd back in it, because right now, Jamie, the Hawk faithful are sitting on their hands. So Aschbacher now with an inside wrist on the right side of Weber, circles the head. He scoops that left arm of Colin Weber, now goes around the head with a half Nelson. Austin Aschbacher is looking for the fall here with 50 seconds left to go in the first period. Colin Weber in a high bridge. There's the fall, guys. 113. So Decorah will take their first lead here, as Aschbacher will win by a fall in 113. So that's 3 straight for the Vikings, and they now take a 15-12 lead, going to weight class 106. And we talked about this is gonna be a tough duel.
Yeah, it is. Decorah's, and it's kind of like you said, it's a rivalry on the football field, and these teams usually get together every year on the wrestling mat as well. So, they got this. Decorah, I believe, moved up to 3A. They're the lowest enrollment school in Class 3A. They were right on that border, but they're up in Class 3A this year, where they've been in Class 2A the last several years. But I tell you what, they're coming loaded tonight for the Hawks. Well, we're going to weight class 103 now, and we have Austin Howell for the West Delaware Hawks. He's a freshman taking on Joe Noak, and he's a sophomore. And there's Noak in on a double leg takedown. So Joe Noak in early, takes a 2-0 lead on that nice double leg takedown. Got in deep on the legs of Howell. That throws a cross body on Howell on the left side. He's got a cross body right in. Howell comes with a nice stand up, a nice tripod. He traps the hand of Noak, and let's see if he can pull Noak underneath. As Noak gets high, Howell tries to pull him underneath and stack him up, and Noak has to bail out of the legs. Goes around front of Howell. Howell's going to pull his head out and score 1. And no, he doesn't, because we're off the edge of the mat. So we got to go back to center. Oh, he's going to let him up now.
Noak's going to cut him loose here. So again, Hawks need to develop some offense on their feet. And again, Howell doing a nice job now working the head. Let's see if he can find an angle. There's a double leg takedown by Noak. Double hasn't taken him down yet. There's a back trip. There's a nice whizzer by Howell. He's going to sit out and face Noak. Noak dives in on a single. Hard whizzer by Howell, and he's got to bail out of there. There's a 2-point takedown by Noak.
He leads at 4-1 now. The Hawks trail 15-12 in this dual meet to Decorah. As we said earlier, Brent Lammers and Coy Russell recording 2 first-period falls to start this dual meet. Scott Taylor was then pinned in 138. Will Wanger was defeated 12-10. And Colin Weber was pinned in 113, so that has our team score 15-12 in favor of Decorah.
And Noak's got a farmer set up on Howell, and he's trying to throw Howell to his back. He's got it locked up tight. 25 seconds left to go the first period, and that is tight, ladies and gentlemen. He scooped that arm, and there's the fall right there, 142. Austin Howell will lose by fall in 142, so the Decorah Vikings making a little bit of a run here on the Hawks, winning 4 straight, and now they will take a 21-12 lead going into weight class 113. Well, top-ranked Patrick Woods will take on sophomore Carter Hubka. So I'll tell you what, Jamie, we talked about how when the pins come, that pin bug starts, and it's hard to stop that momentum. So hopefully the stopper here, Patrick Woods will be the stopper here for the Hawks.
I would certainly hope so, and I think Patrick's probably got that on his mind. The Hawks, they trail it by 9 points here, so he's got to get on the board here. He gets a quick takedown there. Nice job by him And now you got to go to work on top and get 6 points here.
Well, and he's doing a nice job tying up the wrists of Hubka. He's working on a 2-point tilt right now. And again, the whole objective for Hubka is not to get pinned here. And we'll see if Patrick Woods can set up a combination. He's trying to set up a tilt here on Hubka. And it looks like he's got a couple of points. He's getting counts there. He's going to pick up 2 near fall out of that tight waist tilt. Doing a good job controlling the hips of Hubka. And we're right on the edge of the mat. And Jamie, I'd just as soon like to see him let him go now and go back to work. We'll see if he can set up that wing series. And Coach Voss, maybe you heard Coach Voss saying, hey, cut him and go back to work on your feet. There's a 2-point near fall. It's 4-0 in favor of Woods with 54 seconds left to go in the first period. Sit out, turn in, and Woods is going to cut Hubka loose, and we're going back to work on our feet. 46 seconds left to go. Woods with a hard collar tie. Dives in on a single. Let's see if he can cut the corner. Goes through the legs of Hubka. Let's see if he can turn Hubka to his back. There's nobody better than Woods in this situation coming out of the scramble. Let's see if he can pick up 2. There's 2. And let's see if he can tie that arm up. 2-point takedown by Woods. And let's see if he can keep that arm and tie up that arm with the chicken wing. He's got a Turk in right now. Far arm, cross face to far arm. Let's see if he can throw Hubka on his back. He's got Hubka on his back. 16 seconds left to go. Let's see if he can record the fall. Woods high up on top. He's got to get his chest down, and Hubka's going to roll through. It's real hard, Jamie, to pin in that Turk if you don't get your chest up on top.
Yeah, it really is. But a nice job by Patrick Woods as he builds a 9-1 lead here going into the second period. A few more alumni here tonight. Julie Smith, a cheerleader from 1987. Chuck Mangold, a wrestler graduating in 1989. Melissa Coates, a 1990 graduate. She was a cheerleader. Daryl Vasky, a wrestler in 1991, a state champion for the Hawks, and was a part of that state championship dual and traditional tournament teams. Jeremy Price, also a part of those teams. He graduated in 1991. He's here tonight. Pat Lochran, graduate in 1992. Jared Messer, a wrestler in 1993. Shannon Doyle O'Neill, a cheerleader, graduating in 1994. Brett Fessler, he was a wrestler of the class of 1995. Casey Doyle, also a state champ for the Hawks. He's a graduate in 1996, as was Mitch Payton, a 1997 graduate, 160-pound state champion his senior year. Tracy Lewin, a 1997 graduate. She was a cheerleader. And Jessica Ferguson, a 1998 graduate. She was a statistician for the Hawk wrestling team.
They're just a lot of fun to see a lot of alumni on this. Not a very good night for travel. And especially when you go north of here, Jamie, Decorah will have quite a ride home.
Well, I heard earlier that they're staying at the Lenses tonight.
Oh, okay. Yeah. All right, there's that double chicken wing by Patrick Woods. He's got it in deep after he picked up the 2-point reverse on Hubka. He's got that double chicken wing. That's his specialty. Let's see if he can record the fall here. He's got 48 seconds to settle in. Referee down looking close. And now we need a half Nelson. Sink that half Nelson in, Patrick Woods. As Hubka rolls through out of the double chicken wing, there's going to be a 3-point near fall. It's going to make the score now. It's going to make the score 15-1. Now you got to turn him and pin him. He's got that Turk in one more time. Let's see if he can turn Hubka over and this time get his chest up. He's got a cross face from left to right to far shoulder. And let's see if he can turn him over. He's got 17 seconds left. Now he's got a chicken wing on the left side, trying to set up that double chicken wing again on the right, trying to hook it up. And Hubka doing a nice job just basing out underneath. And there's 6 seconds. Don't cut him now with 6 seconds left, but he did. That's 15-2. And let's see whose choice it's going to be.
I believe it'll be
It's going to be Hubka's choice. Let's see where he's going to go neutral. He's going to go neutral. So Woods is going to have to do something feet to back. And to finish it, a takedown is going to end this with a tech fall. It's 15-2 right now. Let's see if Patrick Woods can maybe set up a fireman's carry or something. There's a long single shot by Hubka. Head to the outside. Nice gut wrench by Woods. He's going to set Hubka on his side. All he has to do is step over the leg, and that's going to be a 2-point takedown. And that's going to end the match right there. That'll be a 17-2 tech fall. That'll give the Hawks 5, so they close the gap. It's now 17 for the Hawks and 21 for the Decorah Vikings. And it's going to be another tough match here with Logan Riley and Devin Stortz. The Vikings are very young underneath here. And I'll tell you what, if Coach Friedhoff can keep these young guys together, he's going to have a solid 3A team here for a couple of years. He's got a nice group there. He's got sophomores. He's got 4 sophomores in a row and then a freshman. So he's got some youth in this team. There's Logan Riley with a nice front headlock. And let's see if he can turn this into 2. He's going to windmill out of it. Nice reshot by Stortz. Stortz now in on a single. Riley fighting here. Goes down to one hand. Stortz is going to load him up. There's a 2-point takedown as Riley went to all 4s. That was a good scramble situation by Stortz. So I guess the Decorah faithful on the far side, the red and blue. There's quite a few that came down tonight for this duel. It's always a lot of fun when the Vikings and the Hawks get together.
Yeah, it certainly is. And, tell you what, one more thing we should mention here is with the alumni night, the alumni are having a gathering, a little social out at Hartridge tonight. So any alumni that couldn't make it up tonight or weren't able to come here tonight, they're having a gathering, a social out at Hartridge tonight after this dual meet. So come on out, see a lot of these alumni that we've been mentioning and that we'll continue to mention here. We've made it to the 2000s, so there's a few left here.
There's quite a pile left to go. So a lot of guys that have graduated in the last 3 years that have still on Christmas break and decide to come up to the meet tonight to be recognized, and that's always good to see too. 2-1 now, escaped by Riley with 50 seconds left to go. So we're going back to our feet, going back to neutral position. And the Hawks have closed the gap, 21-17. Sweep single by Stortz. He's in deep. He's got the right leg of Riley tied up. Riley now with a hard whizzer stuffs the head of Stortz. Stortz now picks up the right leg of Riley. Riley's trying to shove the head of Stortz away. He's trying to kick down on it. And Stortz is doing a nice job elevating that right leg. Now he's going to back trip Riley and pick up 2. And he's going to pick up back points off of it. He got 2 off of it. No, he did not get 2 off of it. He got 1 twice. And Riley rolled out of it. That's the second takedown by Stortz. He got in deep on that single. And Riley could not whizzer out of it. Stortz picked it up and hit him with a back trip. That was just a perfect shot. A good shot, perfect finish.
It was, and he took him to his back. So Hawks have got to get going here. I tell you what, on their feet, they have not been very productive tonight, and I know Coach Voss isn't going to be happy to see that. As the good thing is I think the Hawks will probably have practice tomorrow or wrestle-offs tomorrow. So they gotta get some offense going on their feet. We haven't seen a lot of it. Patrick Woods did a great job, but these last couple matches, we haven't seen a lot of offense on the feet from the Hawks.
Well, and that those are the things that you've got to make mental notes of, and you got to go back to work. And because if you can't, it's pretty hard to win a match if you can't take somebody down. There's so much wrestling done on your feet that if you can't take somebody down, it's pretty hard to win a match. So nice stand-up by Riley, and it goes off the edge of the mat, so we're going to get a restart as they go back to the center. Now the Hawks have a free Saturday, and then strap it on for the next 6 Saturdays after that, Jamie. It's going to be 7, actually.
7, but I tell you what, it'll go by fast.
It will. 7 Saturdays from tomorrow will be the state final, so that's hard to believe.
You always got to do that, though. Right. You always got to make it seem like it's just going to be here tomorrow, which it usually does. But you could just keep that to yourself, buddy.
I'll try.
Till next Saturday when you say 6.
There's a duck under by Stortz. Wow. He gets in deep on that single, cuts across to a double.
That's a nice move.
That was a nice job as he popped that right elbow of Riley up and went in on that low single, switched off to a double, and picked up a takedown. It's 6-2 now, Jamie, so the Hawks have some work to do. Logan Riley has some work to do. Stortz is tough. We're not sure if these two met at the Bob Murphy. I know you have that somewhere in your vast collection of knowledge. I know you'll scoop that out for us. There. Storts could have been at 26, cutting down to 20 over Christmas break. We'll find that for you, but I'll tell you what, Logan Riley has his work cut out for him here as he is down 6-2, 3 takedowns by Storts and 2 escapes by Riley. Riley now into a stand-up. Nice spiral ride by Storts as he's got his weight on Riley. Now Storts picks up the single, the left single. He backstrips Riley again. Riley's going to try to come out of it, and he's got to make sure that he doesn't roll to his back as he comes out of it. He gets a 1,001 count. Gets a 1,001 count again before Riley has to bail out of it and go belly down in the center of the mat with 30 seconds left to go.
Storts wrestled Phillips. He did wrestle at 126 in the Hawk tournament.
So
Sam Phillips pinned him.
So Storts cutting down to 120 over vacation, and he looks awfully solid here for the Decorah Vikings. Stand up again by Riley. Storts reaches down and picks up that single again. Hard whizzer by Riley. 8 seconds left to go. He's trying to step down in that. We've got to have stalling. They're stalling against Storts for not bringing Riley back down to the mat. 1 second left, and we're going to go to the third period. We'll go to the third period, and let's see where Logan Riley decides to go. Oh, it's going to be Storts' choice.
Probably go neutral. He's been good on his feet.
Yep, he's going to go up.
Both up.
Going to go neutral to start this third period, so Logan Riley's got to find a shot that can dent that defense. There's a sweep single attempt by Riley. That's a good shot. Got to get in just a little bit deeper as Storts fought his way out of it. 147. Dual meet score is 21-17 in favor of the Vikings. There's that duck under again by Storts. Got in deep, and he's going to set Riley onto his back, and Riley's going to come out of it in a scramble. Let's see if he can get up. Riley comes out of that in a scramble. Great scramble. He had an opportunity to pick up the 2-point takedown and couldn't get it, but at least he didn't get taken down to his back. That was a great scramble by Riley. We're going to get a stalemate. Back to the center we go. That gets a good applause from Coach Litter and Coach Voss coming out of that scramble.
And the end of the first quarter down in the lower gym, West Delaware leads it 16-7. The boys playing down there, the girls playing, the West Delaware girls playing over at Independence tonight. So the Hawks trying to win it down in the lower gym here tonight.
They got a lot of sports action. The parking lot out there was pretty full when I came. So a lot of great action. Basketball in one gym. We got wrestling here where wrestling should be, Jamie. There's nothing like wrestling right here in the old gym. And we've got a great view sitting in this crow's nest.
I love this.
The Hawk's Nest. I love this place right here for wrestling. We've seen some great duels here. We've called some great matches here from this vantage point. And the thing I like about it, there's no cold air blowing on us. So,
yeah, but there is a hot air. Hot air right next to us.
Tell you what, we're loving it. 37 seconds. Logan Riley's got some work to do. He's got to come up with a couple of quick takedowns or something feet to back here on Devin Storts. Storts, we talked about, he's a scrappy sophomore, as is Logan Riley. Two good sophomores. There's a high crotch by Storts. He's in deep. He's got Logan Riley sitting on his backside. Riley comes to a switch, tries to put a leg in and step over the top of Storts. Storts is going to try to shake him down and pick up 2. 13 seconds left to go. And our referee's looking for 2, and he gives the 2 to Storts. So Storts is going to go up 8-2 with 5 seconds left to go. So the Hawks closed the gap a little bit, but once again, they lost as Decorah is going to win that match by a score of 8-2. Storts with 4 takedowns to Riley's 2 escapes.
Some more alumni here is Corey Reinig, a 2000 graduate. He lives in Fort Collins, Colorado. A 5th place state finisher for the Hawks. Brian Doyle, 2001 graduate. He was the first freshman for West Delaware to qualify for state. Adam Schulte, a 2001 graduate for West Delaware. Jake Ferguson, a 2001 graduate, lives in Eagle River, Alaska. He's a sale manager for Bass Pro Shops in Alaska. That'd be a fun job, wouldn't it, in Alaska?
Job. You bet.
Brian Klaus, a 2003 graduate for the Hawks.
Think he sells any whale harpoons?
Perhaps.
We'll have to ask him.
Eric Rave, a 2004 wrestling graduate for the Hawks. Ryan Yeager, 2004. He was a wrestler. Anna Ferguson, a cheerleader for the Hawks, graduated in 2004. Wade Welcher, a 2005 wrestling graduate, placed 7th at 160 in 2005. Molly Payton, a 2007 cheerleader for West Delaware. Nick Ketchum, a 2008 wrestler. Adam Mosner, 2008. Tyler Modernock, 2008. and Adam Rave, a 2008 graduate for the Hawks.
Well, we got Sam Phillips up to the mat right now, taking on Colton Mickelson, and Phillips going to work. 2 quick takedowns for Phillips, and he loses contact right there in that last defense by Mickelson. Colton Mickelson, he's a sophomore for the Vikings, and Sam Phillips, a senior. There's a nice throw by. Nice throw by Phillips, and he's going to throw Mickelson down to the mat and pick up a takedown. Now goes a hard crossface from right to left, maybe trying to set up a crossface cradle. 107, he's trying to load that crossface cradle up. Let's see if he can lock it up. He's got Mickelson locked up in a cradle. He's got Mickelson on his back. That's going to be the fall, Jamie, right there in 102. Just what the doctor ordered. Sam Phillips with a very nice crossface cradle. He picks up 6. It is now 24-23, still in favor of the Vikings. Connor Wickman is going to pick up a forfeit here. So the Hawks will now take the lead 29-24 as Connor Wickman will take a forfeit as highly ranked Kellen O'Shea for the Decorah Vikings fails to make weight at 32, so we're going to see him at 138 or 145.
145.
Probably 145.
Yep, this is Isaiah Mitchell.
Isaiah Mitchell, he's a freshman. Bo Vasky, the senior. So I'll tell you what, here's an opportunity for Bo Vasky to widen the gap here. The Hawks had a 12-point lead. That's been the largest lead of this duel so far after the first 2 falls. 49-second fall by Lammers and a 39-second fall by Russell. Picked up an early lead, and we thought it was going to be a runaway for the Hawks. But I'll tell you what, the Vikings won the next 4 matches to take a 21-12 lead. So see if Bo Vasky and Isaiah Mitchell can tangle here. There's a long single shot by Vasky.
This was at the Hawk Bob Murphy Invitational. Vasky won this match by fall in 3 minutes and 45 seconds over Mitchell. So like to see duplicate results here tonight by Bo Vasky.
Yeah, that would. He's got to be confident out there on the mat, Jamie. You know, you pin somebody, and you just got to go back to work here. Go back to work and get after it. Mitchell's doing a nice job controlling the head of Vasky. A long single shot by Mitchell's head to the outside. Vasky's going to scoot around. That's a nice counter by Vasky as he went to a crossface and then slid behind Mitchell and picked up the 2-point takedown. Now he's working an inside wrist with 55 seconds left to go. So that looks better on the scoreboard. The Hawks up 29-24, ladies and gentlemen. If you're just joining us, maybe you've been out and about and go ahead, Jamie.
Yeah, I tell you what, we got started at 170 pounds. Brent Lammers with a fall in 49 seconds. Coy Russell with a 39-second fall. Then the tide kind of turned for the Hawks as Scott Taylor lost by fall. Will Wenger lost 12-10. Colin Weber was pinned in 113. Austin Howell was pinned in 142. But the Hawks came back. Patrick Woods with a 17-2 tech fall. Logan Riley lost 8-2 to Devin Stort. Sam Phillips with a fall in 102. And Connor Wickman with a forfeit at 132 makes our team score 29-24 in favor of the Hawks.
So you'd like to see that increase by 6 more right here as Vasky's working a hard, tight waist on the freshman from Decorah. That's going to set up a chicken wing on the right side, inside wrist on the left. Let's see if he can get outside. He's got 12 seconds. Get out there and run that, Bo Vasky. Plant that left shoulder, take a big step around the head. He's working on it. Mitchell blocking him off. Mitchell doing a nice job blocking off the hips of Vasky. Vasky trying to make a big step and just running out of time. He's got it loaded up. And as the buzzer buzzes, runs out of time, it's going to be Vasky's choice. He's going to defer over to Mitchell, and Mitchell's going neutral. So Vasky's got to go back to work here. At weight class 145, Riley Ryan will not be favored against Kellen O'Shea. And then we're going to move up to, there's a nice single by Bo Vasky. He got in deep. And Mitchell controlled that arm. That's got to be 2 and back. Oh, our official was a little late on that, Jamie, as Vasky had 2 and back, and Mitchell rolled out of it. So Vasky will just get the takedown. Vasky will just get the takedown and not get the 2-point fall. Or 2-point near fall.
Another update from Bill Logan down in the lower gym. West Delaware boys lead Independence at halftime 35-15. We'll get some updates. The Independence wrestling team wrestling up at the Clash Is that Minnesota or Wisconsin? I don't remember.
That is in Minnesota.
Minnesota. They're wrestling up there. I know they lost their first duel. We'll get an update from them before we sign off here tonight. I tell you what, there's some tough teams up there. Mediapolis, who's ranked second or third in Class 2A, they got beat 60-something to 3.
Wow.
So some tough teams up there in that
class. The Albernet Pirates also took a stroll up that way, so we'll be anxious to see what happens. There's a nice butcher by Vasky. He's got Mitchell on his back. Let's see if he can record the fall here. And once again, Mitchell rolls out of it, but as he rolls out, Vasky loads up a chicken wing on the right side, inside wrist on the left. Mitchell trying to tie the legs of Vasky out. Vasky freeing his legs. Now he's trying to run that chicken wing again. He's going to stack Mitchell up. Let's see if he can get him loaded to his back. Mitchell again blocking off the hips of Vasky. Vasky's got to bump him forward, get him off all fours. He's got Mitchell stacked up. There's the fall in 3:37. Bo Vasky will win by fall in 3:37. That'll give the Hawks 6 more. It's now 35-24 in favor of the West Delaware Hawks. They are on a little bit of a roll right here. Nice job. Nice job by the senior from West Delaware. A couple of nice takedowns and then a very nice wing series. Kellen O'Shea now highly ranked for the Decorah Vikings, taking on Riley Ryan. And a nice duck under by O'Shea. And he switches off to a double. And he dumps Riley Ryan to his back. He picks up 2 for the takedown and 3 for the near fall. So he goes up early, 5-0. Nice job by Ryan as he rolls out of that, but they go off the edge of the mat. I missed that, Jamie. I didn't see what happened.
Must have been funny.
Well, we got both officials laughing and we got the crowd laughing. So I was marking down those stats in my score sheet here and missed it. Riley Ryan now, weight class 145. We started weight class 170. We're going to finish at weight class 160. So we got the bookends. Brett Lammers on the start, Jake Voss on the end for the Hawks. That's a good start and a great finish. I'll tell you what it's going to take as this season progresses, Jamie. It's going to take the guys in the middle. It's going to take everybody. You know, if the Hawks are going to repeat as Walmack champs and they got a good shot to qualify for the duels, it's going to take everybody doing a lot. 51 seconds left to go. Weight class 145. O'Shea up on top, riding a ball and chain. He's got that arm of Riley Ryan trapped. Ryan rolls out of the ball and chain. No back points. And he momentarily had Kellen O'Shea going to his back, and O'Shea pops his head up and takes Ryan back down to the mat. Jamie, I was watching the Midland finals on Monday night, and I love that comment that I believe Jim Gibbons made as he was broadcasting. When you get in that scrambles position, the guy with his head up, I know you heard that too.
Yep.
The guy with his head up is going to win those scrambles.
Yep. And I don't remember what match that was. It might have been Lofthouse's match, his finals match that he lost in overtime, and he wasn't the one with his head up, and he lost the scramble and lost that match in overtime. So I tell you what, that's a great comment.
We're seeing that right here. If O'Shea's head would have stayed down, Riley Ryan would have came up on top of O'Shea, but he popped his head up, and that just sent Riley Ryan back down to the mat. So first period over. Nice period by Riley Ryan, only down 5-0. I'm surprised O'Shea did not cut Ryan loose a couple times. And he's going to cut Ryan loose here. It's going to be a 1-point escape to start the second period. Optional release as Kellen O'Shea popped over to Coach Friedhoff, and he says, hey, just go neutral. There's a Russian tie, 2-on-1 by O'Shea. He's got the right arm of Riley Ryan trapped, and he's going to try to pull that down. Now he cuts across to a double. Nice down block by Ryan, and a sit-through by O'Shea. Again, a nice counter there by Riley Ryan. That's just a good job there. O'Shea having a little trouble with his weight, Jamie, so maybe Riley Ryan can push the tempo here a little bit. There's a double by O'Shea, got in deep, sit through, and he picks up a 2-point takedown. That was kind of picture perfect there by O'Shea. Got in deep, did not stop, did a knee slide to get in a little bit deeper on the shot, popped his head to the outside, and then he just took Ryan away from his head, covered the hips for a 2-point takedown. 1:16 left to go, second period, and it's a 7-1 lead by the highly ranked, I think number 6 in the state in Class 3A at weight class 132 is Kellen O'Shea. And O'Shea's going to cut him loose. I think O'Shea would like to ride Ryan on top a little bit. That's going to be an escape by Ryan, 7-2. I'm not sure Kellen O'Shea liked that from his coaches. I think he was content to ride Ryan for a little bit. But regardless, he's going back to work on his feet, as is Riley Ryan. Riley Ryan's being a little bit more physical right here, and I like to see that. There's a nice job by Riley Ryan, being a little physical and hustling back to the center. O'Shea a little slow back to the center. See if all that weight cutting has an effect on O'Shea. O'Shea dives in. There's a snap and spin by Ryan. Oh, boy, good scramble by both wrestlers. Snap and spin by Ryan. Now hard double by Ryan. Off the edge of the mat they go. That's exactly what the West Delaware crowd is after here. O'Shea very slow coming back to the center of the match. He looks very tired right now. Again, I'll tell you what, if you've sucked a lot of weight, Jamie, and you get stuck into a bigger weight class, I'll tell you what, has a lot of effect. There's a nice double by O'Shea. He's in deep. He's going to pick up Riley Ryan. He's going to pick up a 2-point takedown. Ryan reached for a collar tie on O'Shea, and O'Shea just shot underneath, blocked that elbow, posted that elbow, dropped in underneath. 20 seconds left to go. It's 9-2. Ryan back to his feet. Let's see if he can control the hands. Going to get stalling against O'Shea. There's a 1-point escape by Ryan. Ryan back on the hunt, and he gives O'Shea a shove off the edge. That gets the Hawk crowd up. 9-3. Right. O'Shea up by 6, but you're thinking Riley Ryan's still in this match. There's a reshot. Shot by Ryan, reshot by O'Shea. Nice scramble, and we're going to go to the third period. It's going to be O'Shea's choice. And O'Shea's going to go down. All right. 10-3 now. 10-3. So we're going to wrestle this thing on our feet. We're going to settle this in neutral position. Hard collar tie by Ryan as he grabs the shoulder. Now gives O'Shea's head a pop. O'Shea dives in on a single. Riley Ryan's going to have to whizzer. He's going to have to try to kick out of it. And that's going to be a 2-point takedown by O'Shea. Well, Jamie, what's happening is Riley Ryan he's stepping with his right and reaching with his right at the same time. And O'Shea's just posting that elbow and dropping right in on that single.
Yeah, he is, and Riley hasn't had an answer for it yet, and that's unfortunate because I tell you what, he's right there, and he was in a scramble situation earlier where he just about came out of it, and I tell you what, he's done it again here, just got himself in another scramble situation and about came out on top.
Well, we'll see if he can come out of this. He's got 1:09 left to go. A hard ride by O'Shea, hard tight waist. Now he's got a half Nelson in, and that's going to be a 1-point escape by Ryan. It's 12-4 now. Still a major decision by O'Shea, so Ryan needs a takedown in the worst way right here. There's a drop in. There's another takedown by O'Shea. Same move. We're going to have to film that.
Wow. I wonder if that's seated. Taking a look at the clash here, as we'll get you that here in just a little bit.
There's a sit-out turn-in by Ryan, and almost got free, and O'Shea went right back to that tight waist. With 20 seconds left to go in the match, it's 14-4, and we're going to get stalling on O'Shea, and 1 point for Ryan. Now it's 14-5. Boy, he needs an escape and a takedown 15 seconds, and that would take the major decision away.
And he's got 15 seconds to do it, so
That's plenty of time, and he's got to react right now. He's got to come to his feet. He tried a short sit-out, and that went right into, that's a Granby roll by Ryan, and O'Shea's going to stop the Granby roll, and let's see if he picks up 2. He picked up 2 on the
somebody
near
from
fall.
West Delaware wrestled O'Shea at the
That's going to be a 16-5 major.
Somebody wrestled in pretty close, I thought. Connor Wickman did. It was 9-8, because I remember. So Connor Wickman did a great job with him, and unfortunately, Riley wasn't able to have the same results. Let's go through these updates here real quick. Albernet up at the Clash. They lost to St. Michael Albertville 43-10. They then lost to Bayport. These are all Minnesota schools, I'm assuming. 38-36. They'll take on New Prague for 7th place in their bracket C. The Independence Mustangs, they lost to Boundbrook 51-11. And then they came back and lost to Carl Sandburg 39-28. And they will take on Archbishop Moeller in the 7th place match. Woodbury Central in that bracket D as well. They defeated Archbishop Moeller. If it's seeded, they're the number 1 seed, and they've lost twice, so I'm not sure that that's seeded, but they defeated Archbishop Moeller 39-33 and then lost to Hastings 60-15.
So that's a couple of Nebraska schools coming in there, Jamie. Grand Island and Hastings.
There was a Iowa school in bracket B, as it was Mason City. They've lost 3 times, and they finish in 8th place. It's similar to the Battle of Waterloo, where they'll wrestle how they did. Mediapolis won their first duel against West Fargo. That's a North Dakota school. And they then lost to Oak Park River Forest 57-3. They're taking on Vacaville right now in the 3rd place match.
And Bettendorf got second, it looks like.
Yep, Bettendorf got second to that same team. Lost 53-12, so that Oak Park River Forest is a real good school.
We got excitement down here in the match with Max Ridenauer at 152 taking on Alec Felstool. I'll tell you what, Felstool tried to hit Ridenauer with a headlock and had him going to his back, and Ridenauer locked up around the waist and picked up a very nice 2-point takedown out of it. But I'll tell you what, you got to keep your head in good position. Ridenauer now with a nice chicken wing on the right side, and he's going to try to step over Felstool. He's got Felstool on his back with that chicken wing. Felstool tries to roll out of it. Ridenauer readjusts. I'll tell you what, that is tight. Let's see if we can get the fall. Referee down, looking close for the fall. 14 seconds. Ridenauer with the fall in 147. Hawk fans, there's the fall. Ridenauer beating Felstool by fall in 147. I'll tell you what, that salted this duel away. As the Vikings cannot win this duel. It's now 41-28. 41-28, and we've got Jake Voss now taking on Cody Rittner.
Get some more of these alumni in here quickly. Nathan Vasky, a state champion in 2009. He graduated in 2009. Brett Yankovic, 2010. He was a 3-time WAMAC champ, 4-time state qualifier, a graduate of 2010. Chris Ketchum, a 2010 graduate. Nicole Vasky, a 2010 graduate. She's a statistician. Jared Hofer, a 2011 graduate, wrestled for the Hawks. Jenna Modernock, a 2011 graduate, was a cheerleader. Alex Steffen wrestled for the Hawks and graduated in 2011. Morgan Gritzner was a cheerleader and graduated in 2011. Matt Wenger was a 2011 graduate for West Delaware. Leah Hofer was a cheerleader and graduated in 2011. Chet Winch wrestled for the Hawks, graduated in 2011. As Brent Riley, a 2012 graduate, wrestled for the Hawks. Jenny Voss, a statistician, graduated in 2012. Jordan Smith, a 2012 graduate. Nolan Zumbaugh, 2012. Maddie Cole, a cheerleader, graduated in 2012. Sam Lahr was a manager in his earlier years and then wrestled for the Hawks, graduated in 2012. And then, of course, last year's seniors, Ryan Soppy, Zach Less, Jason Goebel, Justin Knowles. Get them all. Trevor Weeks, Zach Muller, Brooke Vasky, she was a cheerleader, and Adam Reth. And I know you mentioned something to me when I was standing next to Adam Reth that I looked a little small. Do you think I could still take him?
I saw you.
You never did say that.
I saw you standing in between the Twin Towers, Jamie, and I must say you were a dwarf.
But next to me was Goebel. Molly Payton, and she's shorter than I am. When those two stood in front of her, she couldn't see anymore. So I'll tell you what, they're still tall.
They are big.
But I think that I still have a chance.
You have a slight chance.
Yeah. to go 30 seconds.
A slight chance, yes. Providing you don't blow a lung or something else.
That's a given.
Jake Voss with his 4th takedown. Nice double leg on Cody Rittner. He is now up 8-3. It's been a takedown clinic for Jake Voss, the senior from West Delaware, taking on the senior Cody Rittner from Decorah. I'll tell you what.
Max Ridenauer wrestled Rittner in the Bob Murphy Invitational and won that match 8-6. So the Hawks have seen Rittner.
Yeah, and Jake Voss is doing a great job here, just out-quickening him and out-muscling him and just doing a great job. Voss is going to try to set up a Turk right here. He's got the left arm of Rittner trapped underneath. He's going to pick up that right ankle, that right knee, and he's going to try to turn Rittner to his back, and he's going to run out of time. That's a nice period. Four takedowns by Voss, none by Rittner, so Voss will take an 8-3 lead. Rittner's choice is going to defer over to Voss, and Voss will go down. Jake Voss, the top-ranked 160-pounder in Class 2A. I would think, Jamie, after this weekend coming up, we'll have a new set of rankings. We'll have the first 2014 rankings coming out. There's a nice escape by Voss. We're going back to neutral. Rittner comes out in that square stance, and Voss comes out in a staggered stance with the right leg forward. And Rittner backs off the mat, so we're going to circle back in and get a restart. 1:47 left to go. Get our dual meet scores 41-28. Ridenauer locked that up with a fall. So the Hawks will win this duel. There's a nice snap and sweep single by Voss. He picks up takedown number 5 and goes up 11-3. Now a hard chop by Voss. Tight waist with the right, chop with the left. He's going to try to take Rittner to his back with that textbook ball and chain. Let's see if he can load that. He's got that left arm of Rittner tied up. Let's see if he can thread that through his legs and set up that ball and chain, as that is his specialty move up on top. Jake Voss does such a great job controlling hips. And he's heavy, very heavy on top riding. Tight waist by Voss with the right, inside wrist on the left. He's got Rittner chest down, face down, eating some Resolite, scooting him across the mat here. Let's see if Voss can get that left arm out. And Rittner tries a short sit out. Voss tries to snap back, and Rittner goes back to all 4. Voss pops on top and goes back to work underneath. 44 seconds left to go here. Our last match. We've had several pins here.
Yeah, so Hawkeye's wrestling team winning tonight 30-3 as they defeat number 21 Purdue 30-3. The Hawks will take on Michigan State tomorrow night in Iowa City.
So that's quite they go to Purdue and then they got to come back and wrestle tomorrow. That's quite a
dollar hot dog night.
A dollar hot dog. Can't beat it.
At Carver Hawkeye tomorrow.
I know you'll be there.
I'm in. They need dollar ice cream cones. Then I would definitely put them out of business.
It should be dollar night. It should be everything $1. You pay your ticket to get in, and everything's $1.
There you go.
That'd be a great way to get a lot of. They might have a nice crowd there. Most of our teams have this first Saturday open because the way the calendar falls, and then the rest of the month of January will be filled.
I'll tell you what, I'd like to put this. I think Jake Voss would too. Give this alumni crowd one last thing to cheer about here. Get a fall as he's up 11-3 going to the third period. Rittner's tough, but tell you what, Jake Voss, if he could put this thing away and just drive that nail in the coffin here to put this dual meet, to end this dual meet.
There's a long shot by Rittner. That's a nice down block, snap and spin by Voss, and Voss is going to cut him. Voss is going to cut Rittner. Makes it 13-4. 4 escapes. 6 takedowns by Voss, 4 escapes. There's Voss back in on a single. Let's see if he can turn this into some takedown, and Rittner finds the edge of the mat. Rittner real slow coming back to the center. Voss hustling back to the center again. We saw that the first half of the season. There's a nice John Smith single by Voss in deep. He's going to cut across to the other and pick up a takedown. That's takedown number 7 for West Delaware. He's going to cut Rittner loose. Rittner tries to dive in on the ankle of Voss. And Voss is going to have to fight out of this. Let's see if he can turn Rittner. He might be able to turn Rittner to his back here as he's got a half Nelson on his legs. He's under the left and over the right. Now he's got his head dug right into the side of Rittner, and he throws Rittner to his back. Let's see if we can get the fall here. Voss is tough in this position. There's the fall. There's the fall. You called it, Jamie Vasky. 5:08. Jake Voss puts an exclamation point on this dual meet with a fall in 5:08. Giving the Hawks 6 more and a 47-28 dual meet win here. Great night, alumni a night here at West Delaware. A great duel. Let's take a short break. We'll tally up our facts here, tally up our stats, and we'll be right back with a recap. Stay with us. You've been listening to Hold by Hold Wrestling Action right here from the Hawk Gym on Eastern Iowa Sports Station, Mix 94.7 KMCH.
And welcome back to West Delaware High School and the West Delaware Gymnasium, the upper gym here tonight, as the Hawks defeat the Decorah Vikings here tonight, 47-28 in wrestling action. As we're going to get Coach Voss up here before we do our recap, is catch up with him real quick as he joins us as he makes his way up. It's been a while since he's made the trip up to the old Crow's Nest. Actually, it's probably been actually, we weren't up here for the Independence Duel last year, but Coach Voss, I'll tell you what, you had alumni here tonight. We'll start with that. 73 was the total I counted over here on these sheets of papers of alumni that came out and were announced here before this dual meet. And just you got to coach a lot of them, but a lot of them you see around town or have heard about. But a great night for that, and these folks to come back to West Delaware High School.
Well, it's one of the things we have on our steps going up to the room is for the kids to believe in something bigger than themselves, and all these alumni that came back tonight are a part of the history that this program has been built on over a long years, and some of the guys, you see their name on the Wall of Fame, and they were here well before my time, and to see to put a name with a face is a lot of fun. So we appreciate all those alumni that came back tonight and supported these guys, and just a great evening overall.
Well, the last time you guys were in action was at the Battle of Waterloo. Went 1-2 that day over in that second day of the Battle of Waterloo. What did you guys take from that as far as going into the Christmas break and what you could help work on with the kids after that tournament there at Battle of Waterloo?
Well, I think the thing we learned is, we had 9 kids that had never wrestled very many varsity matches, and that tournament that second day is a grind, and our kids had done a great job up until that day, and I think we wrestled okay that day, but you can't wrestle okay and try to beat really good teams, and I think that's the lesson we learned there, and we said at the beginning of the season, each match is a learning experience for all these guys. Each meet is a learning experience. They had six duels in 2 days. Now after Christmas, we start the individual tournaments, which is a brand new thing for them. So, we just got a lot of teaching and a lot of learning to do, and it's happening. I mean, you wrestle good people, and Decorah had a much different lineup than they had at the Hawk tournament. They had about 5 guys in the lineup here that weren't there at that tournament. They had some guys move down a weight class. So it's a totally different team than they had before Christmas, and coming into it, I knew there were going to be some key matches, and it could be, I knew it was going to be a heck of a duel, and it proved to be that. And as long as we keep wrestling good kids and good teams, we're going to keep finding out those things we need to get better at, and that's the process. Just keep getting better.
Well, you guys come in here, and this is it's been a rivalry on the football field the last few years, but I tell you what, it seems like you guys have tried to schedule each other the last few years, and they bumped up to 3A, Class 3A this year, and I tell you what, they've got a young roster too, but in the next couple of years, this could be a really good dual meet.
Yeah, the thing we like about wrestling Decorah is they always come with a lot of kids. Coach Friedoff up there has always got a lot of kids that are out, and you can wrestle a single duel, and I think every one of our kids had a match except one, and I think every one of their JV kids had a match. So that's why we like to schedule these in a single duel situation where we know we're going to have a full varsity lineup. We know that every JV kid's going to get a match, and you have a chance to wrestle under a mat lamp. It's an awesome experience that these kids, they'll remember those things.
Well, next Thursday, you guys have another home dual meet against Maquoketa and Solon right up at the Seedorf Gymnasium. And then, like you said, you get into the individual tournament. What are you going to do to prepare for the next? Roger and I said tonight, 7 weeks from tomorrow's the state finals. So what do you do to prepare these kids for the grind that's going to go forth in the next 7 weeks?
Well, I think, we'll start getting in our routine here next week, going Thursday, Saturday for the next 4 or 5 weeks. And, that's what I really liked about having this duel now, is it kind of broke up that 2-week span that we usually have where, we just train. And we've had 6 really good practices before Christmas and or before this duel, and the kids got to go out and actually wrestle somebody else, and now I'll give them the weekend off, and we'll come back and we'll start getting in our routine. And as far as getting ready, it's you just got to get ready for every match, and just keep trying to get better. That's the only thing you can do at this point. Is our best guys got to take a step to the next level if they want to win a state title or win a state medal, and the guys that are struggling a little bit right now just got to keep winning or keep getting better. So maybe at the end of the year, they're winning a match that they lost earlier that could win a dual meet for us down the road.
All right, Coach Voss.
I have one question, if
ahead.
I may.
Yeah.
Mr. Vasky. Coach, you had a couple of new faces in the lineup tonight. Max Ridenauer at 152 did an outstanding job. Colin Weber was in at 285 tonight. What's it going to take to solidify this lineup, or will you wait? Is your lineup going to take a while to solidify because you've got kids that are good wrestlers and they're still competing for those spots?
Well, we'll have some wrestle-offs tomorrow, and that's going to tell some stories here, for a few weeks, because before Christmas we've had wrestle-offs every week, and now we'll have one that'll take us to the WAMAC tournament, and then we'll have one more to finish up the season. But I guess I don't think your lineup is ever nailed down. If a kid, whether a kid's sick, gets hurt, whatever. But I tell you, Max Ridenauer he's worked his tail off the last 6-7 days here to get his weight down to where his descent plan finally let him get, and he wrestled like he had put that hard work in, and that's awesome to see, when kids in our program can see somebody that wants to get a varsity spot and they're willing to work hard to get it, and maybe make some sacrifices to get there. And then when you have a reward like that to go out and get a pin in front of the alumni and under the mat lamp, I guarantee you every ounce of work he put into it right now was definitely worth it tonight. But, I think, our Richie Heveron was, he's visiting his family out in New York, and so Colin went up and wrestled, one of the best heavyweights in the state, but as far as our lineup goes, it'll get sorted out here shortly, and then we'll just start making the push.
Absolutely. Well, Coach Voss, thanks for joining us tonight, and best of luck to you guys as you guys start that tournament schedule here coming up down the road, and we wish you guys the best of luck.
Well, thank you. I appreciate everybody that came down tonight, and I know when that mat lamp came on and the lights went out, every one of those kids that had wrestled under that thing had a memory that came back, and that's the fun of being in athletics, is creating those memories and then remembering them 20 years later. And not only were our wrestlers back, but some of my stat girls from years by were back, cheerleaders, and just the memories they shared is what makes this place a pretty special place to be, and I think they all shared a piece of that tonight. So it was a great event.
Well, the Orange and Black family is strong, and we were witness to that tonight. Where once you're part of the West Delaware Hawk wrestling family, you're always a part of the Hawk family. And to have 73 people come back tonight, that's a pretty good statement of the family atmosphere that's created. And they say it takes a village, it takes a family to be successful, and we saw a witness of that tonight. So, Coach Voss, again, great job tonight. And 2014 is here, and we're looking forward to covering some more action starting next Thursday. So, Hawk fans, get ready.
Our West Delaware head coach Jeff Voss here tonight as we recap this duel here real quickly. As we started at 170, Brent Lammers with a fall, Coy Russell with a fall, Scott Taylor was pinned by Sean True, and Will Wenger was defeated 12-2 by Carter Zidlicki. Colin Weber was pinned in 113 to Austin Ashbacker. Austin Howell was pinned by Joe Noak in 142. That made it 21-6 in favor. 21-12 in favor of Decorah. Patrick Woods got the Hawks back on track with a tech fall, made it 21-17. Devin Stortz defeated Logan Riley from West Delaware 8-2. That made it 24-17. The Hawks took over from there as Sam Phillips won by fall in 102. Connor Wickman got a forfeit. Bo Vasky with a fall in 337 over Isaiah Mitchell. That made it 35-24. Riley Ryan was beaten by Kellen O'Shea 16-5. Max Ridenauer with a fall in 1 minute 47 seconds, and Jake Voss ending the duel with a fall in 5 minutes and 8 seconds, making the final team score 47 to 28 here tonight. The Hawks win 8 matches. Decorah wins 6. 6 pins for West Delaware, 3 for Decorah. 1 major decision for Decorah, 0 for the Hawks. 1 tech fall by the Hawks, 0 for Decorah. And West Delaware with 24 takedowns. Decorah with 15. So a great night of sports action here tonight as we look forward to covering more. We've got the West Delaware-Maquoketa Valley rivalry tomorrow night, so tune into that on KMCH with John Swisher, and I'm sure Bill Logan will be there with him too. Those two don't go anywhere and do basketball without the others, so you can tune into them too tomorrow with those basketball games, and then we'll be back next Thursday. I'm sure there's going to be a basketball game Tuesday night for you, but we will be back next Thursday with wrestling action. I tell you what, I don't know the schedule because John took a couple days off. He went down, watched the Hawks play in Florida, and I didn't get my weekly schedule, so we'll put this one on Swish tonight, but we'll have more sports action for you next week as the Hawks wrestling team will be in action next Thursday at home against Solon and Maquoketa. And I tell you what, I think that might be senior night already for the Hawks.
I think it is, Jamie.
So we'll talk with the seniors and get them ready, but we're going to get you on your way here tonight as the West Delaware Hawks defeating Decorah tonight 47-28. Well, that's going to do it for us. We'd like to thank the sponsors of high school wrestling here on KMCH, all 42 of them tonight. I'd like to thank Abby Becker for running the boards for us this evening. Great job, Abby, keeping things up to date. We didn't take a lot of breaks tonight, but I tell you what, she did a great job sitting in for us down there tonight. And most of all, thank you, the listeners. And I tell you what, when you tune us in, we're going to turn you on to the best wrestling action in Eastern Iowa right here on KMCH. For my partner, Roger Reed, this is Jamie Vasquez saying good night from the West Delaware Gymnasium. Once again, the final, the West Delaware Hawks 47, Decorah 28. You've been listening to West Delaware Wrestling on Eastern Iowa Sports Station, Mix 94.7, KMCH.
You've been listening to West Delaware Wrestling from KMCH.
Thanks, Abby.
Thank